was a tunnel corridor that came down, shaft, if you will, about 25 feet, and then this would be the entrance into the Hamas lair. Lieutenant Colonel John Conricus is with us of the IDF. Lieutenant Colonel, you and I have talked from the beginning of this war. You stated from the very start, Israel's goal is to destroy Hamas. How close are we to that?
Hi, thank you for having me again. Always a pleasure. And I think your viewers are getting a very good understanding of the combat situation on the ground that I haven't seen elsewhere on other networks. And that's good detail. Our goal is to make sure that October 7, the massacre, the slaughter that Hamas perpetrated never happens again. And in order to achieve that, we have to dismantle Hamas. We are making very good progress according to plan. Of the 12 Hamas battalions in northern Gaza, 11 are at various low levels of combat capabilities. And there is some fighting, significant fighting going on in Jabalia. That appears to be the last significant combat capabilities of Hamas in the north. And we are fighting there now. We have sustained casualties and we have inflicted a lot of casualties on the enemy. And we will deal with Hamas there. And then we will continue to solidify our control and, most importantly, focus our efforts on the enemy here. Still remaining, of course, are 12 additional battalions belonging to Hamas in the southern Gaza Strip, central and south. They have not yet been dealt with, and they are, of course, on our to-do list, and we will engage with them when the time is right and when the conditions are favorable.
All right, we look at this map. It's no question right now that Israel has the tactical momentum on the ground against Hamas in the north. And obviously, as you all cut north to south on the Gaza Strip here, the reinforcements from the south can't move north. That's why that happened. How worried are you about this potential pause that would give Hamas time to regroup, to rearm, to move hostages in their underground tunnels?
You know, I think it is prudent to assume that if any such deal will be made and it will be approved by the Israeli government, we're still waiting for news about that. But if that happens, then of course we should assume that the enemy will use the time and resources available in order to resupply and strengthen their or enhance their military capabilities. I don't think that Hamas will spend any part of the day caring for civilians or providing humanitarian aid. They will care for their fighters. They will try to resupply. And we, of course, will be monitoring them and preparing for the next stage of operations. Some people are...
Fair enough. Hamas never cared for the civilians in Gaza to begin with, so no reason to think that they're going to change. So much has been made of Al-Shifa Hospital. I want to ask you about this. It's near the Mediterranean. The reason Hamas put their headquarters there, that you all have said, manyfold. One is that they know it's not going to be bombed from the air. And number two, they thought it would take a lot longer for the Israeli military to get there. There's been a lot of discussion about whether or not there really is a command and control center. Obviously, you all put out this video. This is of hostages being brought in to the Al-Shifa Center, and in some of them you can see Hamas gunmen with their weapons inside the hospital, bringing the hostages in. This is the map you all put out that showed the Al-Shifa Hospital complex, and then slowly you've been putting out various pieces of intelligence like this picture, this video of the blast door and the like. The Daily Podcast, for example, from the New York Times this morning, seems to keep saying we haven't seen enough evidence. I don't know if there ever will be enough for the New York Times. Not really a lot of other explanations for a blast door built 25 feet below a hospital that leads to a labyrinth of caves other than a Hamas command center. But can we expect over the next few days for there to be more of these type of releases coming out? Can you telegraph to us any idea of what you all think you might find?
Yes, in short, we are going to expose what is behind that door. We sent out the picture to show the world that we have opened the door and the doors, and that we're going to expose what is behind them. And of course, we did that knowing that we have a lot of interesting information in store. And I think that eventually, even the pro-Hamas New York Times will come around and admit, just like they admitted after the very poor reporting of the Al Ahli hospital incident some 3 weeks ago, when they got it totally wrong and used Hamas information and reported it as the truth, the number of casualties, and blamed us for bombing the hospital based just on what Hamas said. They were since then forced to, how did they say it? Not to apologize, but to clarify something about their coverage. I think that they will be forced to clarify additional things again, and I am totally confident that all of our claims that we have been making consistently all along will be shown and proven with video footage, with reporters on the ground, seeing with their own eyes and filming with their own cameras.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.